Good morning. I'm Bill Garner. I wrote JD and Me, as well as Me, Boo and the Goob, A Southern Adventure. Both of these books are Southern memoirs. I've been doing a series of videos about the writing of books. My last video was about how to deal with writer's block. And I want to point out and remind everybody that I did not suggest alcohol and drug abuse. I just mentioned that sometimes it helps out. So today I want to talk about what you write about. There's nothing worse than when somebody writes about things that they don't have any clue about. It comes through. You can tell. Write about things that you know about. If you don't know how to fly an airplane, you can't you can't explain it to somebody in a book pretending that you do, because you don't. And that comes through. My books, for example, my first one, Me, Boo and the Goob, is about three little boys in the early to mid 1960s in and around Jonesboro, Arkansas. That's where I grew up. That's the time span I was small in, and I can recall the little boy perspectives that we had back then. I remember, we were getting big and bad into Vietnam, and on the news they were always talking about the communist guerrillas ambushing the U.S. Marines, and there was all this fighting and shooting and stuff going on, and me and my buddy Boo, we were very concerned about the very thought that guerrillas had machine guns, because how does that happen? How did guerrillas get machine guns? And it's a smart kid in the neighborhood, a guy named Walt, explained to us that there was a fellow named Ho Chi Minh, and he was the guy who was teaching the monkeys how to use the machine guns. Well, that was an epiphany to us. And I was probably 9 years old when I found out that there are gorillas like the monkeys, and there are gorillas meaning warfighters, soldiers, essentially. And that changed everything. But when I was 7 or 8 years old, I understood that there were monkeys in Southeast Asia using machine guns, and our U.S. Marines were over there fighting them. So it's a little boy perspective. And, there's another example. In the book, I talk about going to Miss Black's School for Boys. Well, in real life, it was a place called Miss Mackey's Kindergarten. And they actually did tell us that there were ghosts upstairs. See, the kindergarten was in an old mansion. And to keep us from going upstairs exploring, they told us there were ghosts up there. Well, hell, you tell me there's ghosts up there, I'm going ghost hunting. And that's what I did. And that's how I didn't actually get expelled. I was just asked to leave. But, these stories, I can write about these things because I know about them. I lived them, and they're a vital part of me. And so do the same with your writing, whether you're writing a technical book, or a novel, or something else. Make it your own. Put it in your words. Write as if you were speaking to somebody. Put it in your voice. Don't try to pretend to be somebody you're not. I'm a redneck. I've always been a redneck, much to my mother and father's despair, and that's all I can ever be. And so in my writings, I'm a redneck, and apparently not a very smart one. So get busy. Quit watching videos. Start writing, and write a book. Find your story. Dig it out of that stone, and everything will be just fine. All right. So if you haven't read them, read my books. Me, Boo and the Goob, A Southern Adventure, JD and Me, Bad Ideas and Poor Judgment. Amazon has them. Barnes & Noble have them. Give me a review. All righty. Keep writing.